wojina mu ema eye oforukrom abatso mpesua so akasa wono so akasa de afa eye Islamic education hom sane ebeye na mpanifo betimi aso asene ama wo mo anya Arabic akyerɛkyerɛfo bebre ewo oman mu firi sɛ sɛde eye nkremosom ne sitete ye mabunu no ewo sɛ wo mo entete no etimi dɔso sane ebeye beboa Ghana nkasa afoforo pi eka ho ene anigide mu nsɛm na nwumrei ye de ne nyina eba beso mo na bɔhyɛ electricals ena asomasene enwumre eba no eye gate light ceiling light led light ene enyinama hoden ho niam bia wohia de asiesie ofie say eye hotel eye restaurant eye pub anase studio kra na wo set ya wohia light ene cameras ne nyina mekanfo bɔhyɛba electricals ena ede amam ye wo solar standing fan nso so wa ha eno de ensuo mo awiemo eda ho na eye adwuma fan no betimi abokama kama emfa ho ani dum so ya abayi ya was standing fan ahodo bebre so a eno nso so eyisu USB wo betimi the pen drive ahim abonnom ya wo fan nketo anso betimi de bi akura wo betimi de bi nso asan dan ho de adi wudwuma afeba no waya nso a ya wo 1.5 mm 2.5 mm afe 10 mm enyama ne de dos ne ne anigisem abohyeba de abakra ne sesa wo frɛ ya homa na wo kyerɛkyerɛ niema wo hia nyina titiru sɛ wo bɔ ukɔ eye TikTok now board bosheba.electricals shema wobon se ye showroom na beba nya daage netna sem na hwehwe mu yi de wa nkasa wo pe wo kyerɛkyerɛ yen na wo frɛ yen na wo sande usika nko abade a ye bekyekiri ne nyina akufu emfa ho ne Ghana ha bebi a wo bia ye de bebrɛ wo ewo waboboa no wo mpe wei na wo pɛdeɛn yatena ye no eye miensa ye wo adum eye abrosan kese na ani kegyeti adwa no edi nhwɛ ne mu no Bosheba electricals ewo honum sanso so na antiata akofo abrosan ne mu wadum yanso yebutu honma ye di adwuma na yatena ye kese no ye bo eye adum prisons runabout ne so hwa udu habon se abrosan mumuntum na ewo ho no obi kra nka nche se aha ne Bosheba electricals se de eye nhwehwe ne si twagu na light ahodo no twagu no wankasa ubehunu se enye agudie na ye di wa ha frɛ yen ewo ahoman so 0322 030838 0322 030838 and I say 0536 095966 0536 095966 and you may me amedeka say e baba som no edi amejeswa eye nana adisi pokua ahwenye osamufo nso so eye owura Emmanuel Odro Korea afei yembonwura kasie ne mu minority leader ewo mrahebedwamu ena nei what or sorry ye ena no wo kasa na wo hwe a sede eye ensem bebre esi ekoso efa eye ye mabuna wo mo dodo na wo fie no mu ni dwumadi no mo ne namba nkyere na kyese areho ankasa ne no ena ye maame Patricia Piejei a wo nukure adansa nso egina musem rahebedwane de ma eye asokwa abato mpesua so sorry no seresem ekwanya eye yamabunu asititifie no ahomete na emra Ghana mampanyine His Excellency John Dramani Mahama bontoa no wokan se woba wode dwumadie bi egu akwan ma ye friend se dwumawura a eno eba beboa pa mamabunu dodo na atimi anya dwuma ye nenso so as woba ye akoyehwebuada yenten ho asem se de esi ekobia ne no enam ye domkuma ne ba no dani abedi akire ye maame Patricia kasa wie ye no ena dom kase no ba no dani so ekeka ensem bi edefa ho na moma yenkotie ya maame Patricia said the osika ensem no fa
partisan cooperation to treat youth unemployment as a national security priority. Then we'll look at the public sector reforms and service delivery. We'll handle education, delayed feeding grants in certain secondary schools, and persistent shortages of teaching materials undermine quality education. Health. While a medical trust fund was created, fundamental issues, NHIS arrears, and occasional drug shortages in public facilities have not been resolved. The minority welcomes genuine efforts to cut waste, but cautions that reforms so far appear too slow and largely cosmetics. Then we look at the taxes and revenue. Ghanaians are taxed enough. The minority reiterates its firm position. No new taxes on an already burdened citizenry. That is what we are fighting for. It must be placed on record that the NDC, while in opposition, vehemently opposed certain taxes, yet has introduced its own levies in government. A glaring contradiction.
Onimonyamfo Patricia Apia Jamra Shebedwani a wogina moma amanfo a womo asokwa abato mpasi asonka ene ete ye no na nanu si ye no na minority leader Yera Mahama Ayarega nso ekasai majority leader Yera Mahama Ayarega ekasai ya ono nso so ne nsem no sei netie.
1F, you couldn't really show one factory that was greater under 1D1F. Ultimately, what we saw was that you went and picked existing factories. If they were collapsing under your watch. You went and picked existing factories and said you were giving them 1D, 1F, which was a bailout. But you see, in spite of that, the factory still collapsed because they came under the weight of huge interest rates. They couldn't even get money from the banks to borrow because you were borrowing all the money from the banks. And then the interest rates were so high and inflation was so high. So at the end of the day, the businesses couldn't compete. So traders resorted to smuggling and the borders are porous, so a lot was coming in. A lot of the factories shut down and they moved to Ivory Coast. A lot of the factories started producing far, far below their capacity, which then meant that they had to retrench existing, workforce. And so it compounded the situation. If you ask factory owners, they will tell you that the greatest incentive is not a 1D, 1F, package. The best incentive is make sure interest rates.
Majority leader Onimonyamfo Mahama Ayarega nensem ena etwagu ye no na ye borwemu ewo oforukrom abato mpasia so Onimonyamfo Michael Kwesi Edu ena gina musem ra Shebedwani edema wo mo na wono nso akasa a wo kan wo se sede wukoye nkura nkuma animu a wo mo eni ayaresabea ewo honom na chip compound mpa mpanyufo timi esisi bi edema wo mo nso obekono na chese nurse ni ba ko penalty ho afidi a yede cheke eye ni BP a ebi ni ho afidi a yede cheke yede ye Johnson test a ebi ni ho de yede cheke weight kura mpo no ebi mpo eni ho nti opemfo bi ba se wo ba beje eye awomu nimde anase wo ba behwe se de ne ba no ho sitie ana wono amumpo apomoden ho nsem esitie a na chese akoye boachi bidin enu gina so ma ye maame mo ye hwe ye maame mo bebre titiru emra wo mo ekọ awoso nenom ene wo srese nkebeya empanyufo enkabi
of this country. I'm referring to the CHIPS compound system. So Speaker, if we are paying more attention to the CHIP compound system, it will solve this problem of preeclampsia, because most women, especially those in the rural areas, do not get access to antenatal care and antenatal services. And quite interestingly, by the time they even move from where they stay to the healthcare center, whatever would have happened. So Speaker, we need to invest more in our health system, especially in our communities, by making sure that we train community health service providers so that they can check some of these things. For instance, a pregnant woman going for antenatal, the least she can have is at least get her BP monitored, her urine protein checked, and all these things, so that at least we know that we are safeguarding our women. We are putting up a defense mechanism as a first step to checking preeclampsia. Quite recently, I had the opportunity to visit most of the CHIP compounds in my constituency. Mr. Speaker, it will interest you to know that in Oforukrom, where we will say is quite urbanized, we have only 4 CHIP compounds serving 300,000 populates. We have an Agenda 111 situated in the constituency to serve the constituency, which is at 95% complete, but as at now has not been operationalized.
Onimonyamfo Michael Kwesi Edu eye mrahye edema amanfo a womo ofurukrom abato mpasua so nensem na etwagu ye no na ye wramu ewo eye youth employment nsusu agency CEO a wono eneda no eye Malik Basantali na wono nso akasa de adesre ekode ama womo eka bi wo mu oman mu se wosere wo ma da emra so se wo mutime eso akyerɛkyerɛfo a womo ekyerɛ eye Arabic no asene woso omododo no musa na yehwe nkremo som na anase yehwe zongo communities ahodo na emofra wo hono modoso pa ne mabu na wo hono modoso na se yenya akyerɛkyerɛfo dodo a wo betimi akyerɛ wo mo ade a eno ebetimi aboa ama yetimi ahyepu mofra no titiri wo musuban ekwan esese wo mofa so nimdie eye enwuma ne ade ne nyina betimi aboa ema zongo communities ne nyina timi atumpon.
Of our brothers and sisters we are losing gradually through drug abuse and all these things, especially in our zongos where I come from. It is because Arabic instructors those days are no longer encouraged to do more, to inculcate the values of responsibility in our brothers and sisters. So we are gradually losing them to all manner of things, true or false. And so my brothers and sisters, let us continue to dedicate our time, let us sacrifice our time to continue in our brothers and sisters in the Zongos so that we are able to bring everybody back on stage. And we'll fight this drug menace, we'll fight all these little issues in our Zongos and everywhere. And together, I'm sure we'll be proud.
Ora Malik Basantali de Sansen wenyina atudwa ewon kran pumpuni mantemu eye kanda Central Mosque womra eye Arabic Education Unit wo muhia ya wo mode nhyiamudie bi ehyehye eso onimonyamfo Eric Esibe eye abankrachi panyine ewo kwada so abato mpasua so ene wono nso akasa ene wo hye yinuanom a sabin prediasan wo mo edidem ewo mu ni padua mu se mo mate bia omo mu no entime embre o mase mo ma eno no enka wo mo enhye bia ye bi na mo mfa botaye bi ensi wo mani so nyankopon wo botaye nti a wodi obi bia ba wiase enti de chimato bia ewo wu ni padua mu no emma eno ensi wo ho kwan say wo be pre akwa wanim ewo dwumadie anase adoma kyede anyankopon ede ama wo no ho wo de sansem we nyina atudwa wo mra na eye okogina mu ma Dr. Frank Amwakohene eye Ashanti Regional Minister wo mra na 2026 Ghana Wheelchair Softball Association Clinic and of international tournament no omopa ehon ntoma ase
chess 1 Adequacy University se wo bewie se sebio wato chimakakra school fees untuyebio. Back in our assemblies now from our common fund sikana ya de no money given to the disability people with disability was only 2%. By his grace the president of Ghana John Dramani Mahama has increased it from 2% to 5%, over 100% increase. I don't see that we are making sure say open register or assembly no just go and register with the assembly machine and our pay you better amount abobo ya and our pay you better amount fridge and our person with the tongue so you better amount send it for the boss so you chim enti emene ko na nim no quarterly sika bia bebe bia no na ye at the amount assembly bi over na dream so de nsa ebeka PWD sika no aban no efen che no awokwan bia so I don't think lesremo na mo nyi mo ho mfi bibia mo say ye bekwai no awu be say Debbie we cherish you are like us enyemu a na ke bi enyuma bebre ho park ye nipa nye ye ba for two for the pop was say you share ade kodwom no e obi o mo ne masters o e no te akonwem e no ye ma no and now president the person mutu anamon enye de bia no be hwe make adwuma Enye de bia na mo beye adwuma eye nsa no adwuma mo nkanta vim mo ko school no na eye free na mo so mo ntimi meye ministers ewo oman no ye de ye wo homa mo flagship program say eye national apprenticeship program go and register you will be considered first say ye enkoko anketenkete go and register say ye youth in agriculture go and register you will be considered first.
Onimonyamfo Eric Esibe nsem no ono na ya aban krachi panyine e wo kwada so abato mpesua so na nanu si ya na pe na Ewra Nimo Elizabeth Emmanuel a wono na ye kyerɛkyerɛfo Edema National Wheelchair Soft Ball Association wono nso ejina akonya yisodi adesre eto eye aban na afe ankrankran no wo mo nsem wo bi se wo mo hia moa pa eye
ahodo Ghana ha ye ne ye ba besia kan na ya hwɛ sɛ hwan na kruwa na esia kan sie ne so no obefa ntie na dwumadie no pate ene sɛ wheelchair softball na ye be ye na clinic any tournament e Ghana ai me pacho ye start ye no ye first international tournament no ye ko no Japan na ye Tokyo City e ho no ye konkoden e ma ye place second ye wie ye no na ye besen e ko Americans so ye nuanom ekonkoden eno so ye side places seconds but last 2 years ye besen ko Nigeria aye Africa ha e hono de ye bomoden age ye kruwa no ewo ye nsem bekande na ye bomoden se World Series eba so August yi no ye san ye no America ye bompa se this time round no emrofo na omo kyerɛ no ye betumi agye kruwa no de free omasem abagana pacho how ye wo no de financial obia ndi hɔ a opese wo de disabled for ensem to nanimu a opese osum apart from enkrofo kakra bia me yom bunia ye da omo ed belt abom yem say ensu to ewie bo say from a ombeba no omo de yom si chen na so dodo na wo de wade sre common chen se bia bibi say e koso na mo so emu a obeji wa no ho ba na so mma ye hwe Ghana programs ahodo aye ya enye individual bia de sika ye say beauty pageant a enkofo ba bontin ebesom na so eba situations bi sese ya won say obia eye den e twetwe na ho enti de hia de di kan no eye financial afi de toso eye moral support.
Ewra Nimo Elizabeth Emmanuel nsem na etwagu ye no yeda so agina santemantan mu ha na ye bo awra mu ewo eye amanse South Mansini ni mu amanfo a wo mo ewo ho nane wo mo de o ma desre ekode Ghana Education Service ayetwa ne tia from say GES nse o mo sere o ma da o mu hia kyerɛkyerɛfo pa wo mpotamu ho enti se posting bi e ba wo mo nhwɛ se akyerɛkyerɛfo om do o mo beto mpotamu ho nom no edoso pa ye na afenso no o mu entimi wasane beya adekire ho nsem ebetimi awie mu die ne no na wonimonyamfo Peter Are a wono na ye presiding member edema Amansia South Mansini no ekasa ya wo kire se mpo bia ya akyerekirefo yi ba wo beda no aya na eden na efiorafo no nsusu hu se akyerekirefo mu firi aban omo ya aban adwumanti atwamenebuo bi aya na omo de ma omo na ya na ahomete pa
onyamode amame ise eye Amansia South District na say Manson do bia constituency education more challenges bebre na ne di kan pa accommodation ya dia teachers for no more if it's a serious problem say the menu no di kan ye no how for your mining community eti ama bibia boyden and the teachers for so ye name say the omo bibia sitie omo ntimi compete this amana mem amebo omo NCC bungalows ni bi ama wo ma e beti ene na teachers for bia no eniha ukọ GHS and permanent teachers for almost 70% at the transfer for now we also say omukọ yen so no yenya bi me replace it last 2 weeks kra na me ne education pen for kra the petition and I say request ko ye say recruitment omo ye bia na mo remfi Amansia South ba ye kwa akopri omo de beba no na accommodation na sanso akwa problem ye besere yem pese ombeba no mbeko omoge transfer into aban no emo omo accommodation too ye kwan no so eya de ada bia no eya na asefem ahaba no yapa titiro omo apomuden no ehye eni ho papa no kwan nye kra mesre se aban no nye mwa na ye kwan so yesu ho ache omo emeboa ye ne to so biem eno kra de na se ye nim be bi free network problem ene network atiko ochina says ye nim what is really the problem is the best aban no ne MTN ene telesofo enkasa eto good year I'm told they say eya ye bibi o kakra na omo ene mai wa no mehwe ni ye mai because eya ye too many intimi network intimi nyina so even 1 week kra wa bra entinko nti challenges in there e bebre na we ne ade ye critical pa we say abano ebeye ye mo
Onimonyamfo Peter Are ena woye presiding member ewo Amanse South mensinimu nensem ena etwagu ye no na Alhaji Osman eye vice chairman edema NDC eye party na wo monkrabata ewo Amanse West mensinimu asantemantam heya en wo sere se eye ide ada fahye ya empanyimfo ede akwakohye eye mebusumenyimu ne da etoso aduonu enso afim eye 2026 mu ano bia nhwe se wode ne ho ebehye bi efiri se saa mra no mu na se ye bekaya eye papa prophet Abraham wotimi agina asobo afode konkono edema nyankopon a ene wanya nhira bebre ntikramoni bia nhwe se saa dwumadie kese ya eba su obi bia de ne ho behyem no wayere ne ho adi amanmunyam ahye awrade na afenso wahwe ho ahira obia
so wo bi kwa I would say, a dear Yankopo Ashishato. So, Abraham na oni sika or diboto, dry cry or diboba for you. Yankopo, a castle on find the back and from boa for your man. Ojitu, and the bano, a got 2-1 call boa for you. I'll go try the bannerman at the amount. Yankopo, and the Yankopo already dry free the soy at the brand. And the Sabokasamu, our Bible, our Quran. And odi sao dwan sacrifice emanya nti enu na ya hye no so afi bia ogide ni bia no ese wo bo afore emanya nti we ya afore bo na ye bo nti wo bi na obetima akom ne 2000 kura na adoye na wo de mama yafo because so tinikum aboa na de owo nchen wa anya bia nkono na otimi mani bi na saa da ne nkwan hwama na nkopon wa manyame abode kra no abana ho nti na nkopon be shawma na wa hira obebre because ade a ehye edibai se so uti brono so na nyame ato nsa komunantwie na obi aga bewe na saa da no enye kra behwe na nkopon so emfa ne to
Alhaji Osman eye vice chairman edema NDC amenyoku no wo eye Amanse West mensinimu nensem na etwagu ye no na ye bwawremu ewo enigidie mu nsemu na oba so no tuntum se oyuo Christabel upon Dazi the Agaspa baby. What's me champe Chris.
Aso.
Then your mama to say.
Yami adom na so e.
Adom na ni cry mu nyina. Manem kwai enwumre de na ade man.
Ahwene me da se na cha se de aduru so no no na ahwene abone tofa no na cha se ye koni straight dia. Ya papa ya de nyina director 1 Jackson K Bentum odin sembia ba betudwa wo say so we sinitwani na so wuji hutum so we sinitwani nko ade asa oye oba asa oye bema ro bia ye de bema obia wo so wutimi ye na wo ye ni ye
making art to say o besin na obe amroba that doesn't mean say o amroba and as bia yo ba na ba na ka say prostitute that doesn't mean say we are prostitute end of the day no ye de kire say o fa kwan we su a say na beto and as we so for kran na ka say kopram roba end of the day no o pure amroba na end of the day say na to no nti ye de example a kire obi nti road be ma osinimu no as a good actor road be me be so ye so we wa say bia me van say me de go nkwa na meye me sofo na say me ba sofo nti me play obi a just sofo ru and as me de me mpe ade a meye e bia meye ya no film no your casting director casting director on na ehun se nipa smasi we no betima ye ti me script wi a me metimi ehwe obi su cry script we film be this azonto gusta me hwe lemwen so na me de true story me na me chere ndo be nyesa wo ba wo be kan do be because I script at wo ba me na me chere de we yana me pa me kase David and nti so ba sense wa wonim sisi itwa bebre ne yi bi de me pen na wo nti na film by ti kase film by John Woo na film by Jackson Kevin too film de me pen na me
na chese se ye di robi mawa eno ntrese sa na wusuban ankasa tenti wo ya na wahwehwe na waye ni yie na osan to aso se so pese obeye sinitwani a fa kwan pana ankasa so na kokko hu director or dasi ni twana no na one ne nkokasa
na mo so etuni se so approach good people because sometimes no ye ngofo bro ho a omo na say directors ni din obo obetimi akoju musical na see but so no obi na obetimi na wa adwuma so hwemi na hwe directors e omo e wo ha ni ade na say be it because obetimi akoju musical ye ngofo bro omo ko enkrase be no makoji go musical no da say directors ni say wo person ye ata so person actress na say we crew member e so he right way na offer na hwe director me fence wo adwuma bi o record na ade so fitia na do musical komo bia
okay obi
Way Jackson K Bentum director 1 no ntino wa pese we sini training no ya mo pese mu twesi ni mo kwana mkonko directors na nkasa enfefe fa nchenchen mo bi nkonko che wonya onnya do especially so your ba no na ye to aso ni ya ye nua ba shela de ode me ma me aha Mother's Day na nyum na ye di celebrate no ne ho asem na making ni ebisa ne say Nigeria and Ghanaian musicians no wa munyo pa na kwa ni mu no kire mu say Nigerians ndi omukọ omanim pa
beginning no now some of the Nigerian artists omoba Ghana and yeah top artists A-list artists be collaborate and so kwa no omonyuma kwa say make a better boy initiative wali Hosanna they came together to do it. Bena, if we are Nigerian, it was happening so many times. This man, maybe you fine, but at a point in time, I realized I don't know whether they are branding here, and Nigeria for the question idea, bro. So, since I'm in KaseÄ, can't get to see TikTok until any new school, we say, or leave the boy or more Afrobeat. You can say we are picking. And then we are not picking in our own. Say Nigeria ni be ma ni traditional beat, no de kakraka home. Na ye with it. We are not doing that. I'm hoping say me and yeah felt to say bear her life. Kwame Eugene was trying. He did one. Let me not say try. Ye be man rising more, but so far there, okay. Just that the Nigerians are ahead. Omono. Oma anko machi, omo komeni, omo ko America ne other international.
Okay, who feel said Diana could do something personally?
First of all, no.
Way shela de ode me mame. I say o say won fa me mo me mame. Aha nti o hema esta say wa onim se wa na papa Gaspar say me se wo ho mo nchemfa wo fie we na say nwumre me chia me ame wo fa wo fa pia ba ko pe me chia pa na say aha na mre be ma ye kwan ma ye de ni je de mu nsam na si na me amede ba ye me Christabel upon Daisy a Gaspar baby. I hear so my
a Gaspar baby. Kasiano esi osamufo Owura Emmanuel Odro Korea Junior amwaten so eka ho bi na ono nso ekurichire bibia gu nkrata so edemaye nene de obetimi tina afidie yachi abon white na afi wo chinchim afidie no fruma ebobo AI voices ni nyina ma yen no honorable ba kope Richmond Frimpong adwumawura enono akuafo chefa aha enti anwumre kase no asi Emmanuel Odro Korea na samu menso amegye mre ebebi ni nyina de ma mo no me edin amegye so aye nana adisipokia ahwenne mesori si de na chese akuafo chefa honorable ote hodada enche bia